So if you watched my last video, basically saying I'm back, I'm trying to get back on the grind with YouTube. I've been taking a break for a while, and I said I'd be posting a video a week. I'm already slacking because my truck already broke down again. This time it was the rear end. I was just driving normal, just took a left turn, heard a loud pop, wasn't too sure what it was, decided to pull off, check it out, couldn't find it, took another left turn, another loud pop, and then I just drove it back home. Under further investigation, the spider gears and basically in the differential just completely got demolished. So if you see right in here that the spider gears are really shot, especially on this side. I don't really know how it happened. Apparently the spider gears are a weak point in these G80 rear ends. So it was bound to happen, especially now that the truck is pushing more power. I'm surprised it's lasted for about 3 years since it's had a cam swap basically. So yeah, the new differential is a lot stronger, does away with any spider gears. It actually has helix gears or helical gears. So some of you are probably thinking why I didn't upgrade the gears while I was already, tearing into the differential. Mainly because the truck is 4-wheel drive, so I would have to buy 2 sets of gears, and the gears cost about $200 a piece, which is not terrible, but that's $400, and also another $150 to $200 for each differential as far as new bearings, new shims, new everything. And on top of that, I also had to buy the carrier, so that was easily going to be over $1,000, if not more, as far as to do the gear swap. And on top of that, I had to spend another $300 basically right after I just got it all fixed for the new wheel bearing and for my brakes. So yeah, that would have been very expensive. I'm glad I decided not to do the gear swap for now. I hope to in the future, but yeah, I guess that's a quick little explanation of why I didn't swap out the gears while I was already tearing down the differential and all that. So this video isn't going to be really much of a educational video. It's just basically showing y'all me putting in the new differential and the type of differential I have. So if you really want to know how to install a differential and do all that stuff, make sure you check all the tolerances and all that. I'll post a few videos in the description as far as for you to check them out. They're way more educational than me and have way better explanations of it, and they're obviously more certified, I guess. They probably mess with that more. So I'll definitely link that in the description. So without further ado, here's a little video.
Races and bearings.
Look okay.
Yeah, whereas like your Jeep, I don't know if you remember, but the shims were on the inside. Oh, yeah, that was such a pain in the ass.
Yeah, so if you're wondering what happened, why the carrier is out, basically just blew my rear diff.
I mean, it won't even turn now.
Yeah, it's probably locked. But since the spider gears are pretty much shot in this G80 rear end, I decided to go and get the Detroit Eaton True Track, and it's supposed to be a lot better. It's a limited slip instead of a locker. It doesn't use any clutches. But long story short, basically this new carrier and style rear end gets rid of any spider gears, which was the weak point in these G80s. There are a lot of metal shavings.
Oh, there's some stuff in there. That's what I'm trying to get all cleaned out.
How does that pinion gear look though?
I mean, I think the pinion gear looks fine.
Oh yeah.
Honestly.
Alright, we got the new carrier in. So what we're gonna do now is just check the backlash. But we didn't film us putting it in just because we needed all 4 hands to put it in. But we're hoping that we're putting in the stock shims already. We're hoping that the backlash is hopefully good. I think it should be between 5 and 10 thousandths.
Something like that. It was 8 originally.
right at 5.
Right at 5, that's kind of tight.
Yeah. Let's I'm gonna go run it around a couple more times and see if that helps. If anything, we just barely out of shim. Alright, so I went over and made a few more revolutions on the drive shaft to see if that would seat everything. Hopefully bring it up just a couple more thousands.
Alright, does it look like it's 0?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Alright, it's dead on 0. Yeah. It's about 5.5, almost 6.
Almost 6?
Yeah, almost 6 thousandths.
I mean, technically we're in spec.
That's what it seems like.
So, I mean,
so now we just got to run a pattern, make sure that the pattern's good.
yeah.
As long as the pattern's good, I mean, the backlash matters, but the pattern's critical.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you don't want to put like,
Oh yeah, not too much.
a whole crap load.
You know, we're using the same gears, so it should, in theory, hopefully, be the same pattern.
Should be the same pattern.
Because so far, the
backlash only changed 2 thousandths.
yes, that's not terrible. I guess here, if you want to hold that, let go. Just don't put your finger in the way.
Of course. Keep going. Alright, make contact, keep going. Keep going. Alright, hold it.
How's it look?
You can see the contact patch.
Is it right in the middle?
And it does look right in the middle.
Want me to go over it another time?
Pretty close. One more time, yeah.
This is a good forearm workout.
I bet. Alright. Yeah.
Does it look good?
Hey, go back, please. Or a little more. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Seems like they're in the middle. Alright. Now the reverse contact is good. It's actually dead middle, which is exactly what we want. So, yeah, we're good to go.
Sweet. Alright, so instead of that old pin, that's off the old G80, it's got this weird little dowel looking thing, and actually seems a little easier. I may want to get all that sawdust off of it, but yeah, so instead of this big old pin, that just slides right in. At least should.
You're probably gonna have to pull out on.
Let's see what else needs to be pulled out. Is that it?
Yeah. Man, that one keeps slipping off bad.
There we go. Perfect.
Looks like it's seated in.
Yeah. Sweet.
Yeah.
So that's in.
Yeah. It's just good to go. Just make sure you get a little tap.
Well, this wasn't really much of an educational video, but I'll tag a bunch of other videos I watched to show you how to do it.
Yeah.
Mainly, to be honest, this video is just for a tax write-off. No, I'm just kidding.
How to do a rear end with all the wrong tools.
Basically, yeah. I mean, we made good time. We started at what, 6? No, we started at 7.
7 o'clock.
Yeah, and it's only what, 10? So 3 hours?
Yeah.
That's not terrible. I mean, we're not done, but we got the hard part done. All I gotta do is redo my drum brakes and fill it up with oil. and I'll be good to go, basically. So this is day 2 working on the truck. So what we've done so far is we put in the new carrier, the True Track, and didn't really put anything else together just because when we were taking off the brakes, or the brake drums per se, we have found out we need to get new brake pads or shoes, whatever you want to call them. So didn't really finish last night because we need to get new brake pads anyways. And what I'm going to do now is take the cover, put it on, fill up the diff with gear oil, and then call that quits because we already checked all the tolerances, everything's good. So now I just got to redo the brakes, and hopefully should be able to drive it off the jacks here, let's say in a couple hours. Hopefully that's the plan. So this is what was all that was left of those spider gears. Basically it's just all this metal shavings, so I really need to clean this out, clean this surface so I have a good, bond with the RTV I'm going to use. I'm not going to use a gasket, I'm just going to, I guess, use RTV and put that back on. So now the truck is done, I got the differential in, it is running just fine, but 2 days, literally 2 days after I had it running, I had to go to a customer all the way about 40 minutes away. So I noticed when I was braking it was making a noise, and also the ABS was kicking in, causing the front left tire to lock up. And I was like, what is this? And so I rolled down the window. I noticed that if I made a right turn, the brake noise would get even louder. And so I knew right away that my wheel bearing was going out on my driver's side hub, basically. And so yeah, I jacked it up. I didn't film any of this just because I was in a time crunch. I really needed to get this done because of my job. I really need to travel around, I need to drive around, so I really need my vehicle for it. So I just went ahead, replaced it, and upon further investigation, let's see if they're still over here. So upon further investigation, I realized I had no brake pads whatsoever still, and for some reason, up until the wheel bearing went out, my brakes felt fine. And yeah, so once I took the hub off, took the brakes off and all that, now look at this, my rotor is eaten away. It used to be slotted. The slots are pretty much gone. And it was metal to metal contact. I still am confused on why it didn't, number one, make any screeching noises, as, tell signs that your brakes are going out, and also why the pedal didn't feel squishy at all. But yeah, so I had to go and replace all my brakes. So now the truck has new brakes on all 4 tires. So the truck is now complete. It is running good. Running, just like it used to. Now with the new wheel bearing and the new rear end. And what I'm going to do now is tomorrow, if I have time, I'm going to take out the front leveling kit and then put in the 2-inch drop shackles to just lower the truck a hair. Make a video on that. And so you should be seeing a video next week. So I'll see y'all next week.